Welcome, everybody. Who said hello? Say it again. Someone said hello. Anyway. So it's so strange. I don't know what to do. I'm not running up an aisle dancing. Like, I actually just am here. Like, hello. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Hilton, new venue for us. Everyone says, well, why are we at the Hilton? Well, I think it's pretty clear to me, at least. We wanted to have another town hall meeting at our new building, the corporate headquarters. Oh, and hello to everybody online. Thank you for dialing in. Except we had something almost as monumental as what's been happening in the news, happening over at the new building. So in the news, I think you guys have seen that North Korea and South Korea have actually come together and are starting to have a talk about disarmament, which is pretty amazing. And I think the next most amazing thing going on in the news right now is what's going on with our new corporate headquarters, which is demolition. This is pretty big, right? So we can't be there because it's kind of unreasonable to be there while they're working, and hard hats and glasses and everything else. But it is actually happening. It's pretty exciting. So we've got all this time of finding a site, of acquiring a site, of putting plans together, of filing plans, of getting permits, of doing budgets, of talking to you guys, finding out what you want in a space, what's important to you, how do you want to work, what are the challenges we've experienced. I mean, I could keep doing this, right? It's getting a little old. But finally, we've actually started to swing sledgehammers, take roofs down, take walls down. It's pretty amazing. So who's excited about that? I would tell you I'm incredibly excited about it. I think it has a big part to do with how we're approaching leading the company today. Right now, we've kind of moved from we are listening, and we're doing the same thing over and over again the way we did it in the past. We're just trying to do it a little bit more effectively, a little bit more efficiently, maybe with a little bit more vigor and accountability. But we've really kind of said, okay, now we have to start thinking about doing things differently. How are we going to do them so that it's smarter, so it's more effective? So we're actually getting the results we want, not just putting forth the effort, right? Everyone has been working incredibly hard in this organization for decades. And we've had periods where we've delivered a lot, and we've had periods where we've delivered less. And we're moving now, and it's clear to me, and this is a perfect symbol of an organization that's starting to deliver more. And the rest of the team's going to talk more about that as the day goes on. But this is a little bit my pride and joy, and so I'm talking about this one. Again, a little bit more demolition. So I think these pictures are pretty telling, but I don't think they actually convey the amount of work that's being done to get to this. I'll scroll back and forth through a couple of these. Yeah, some ceiling tiles are out, some walls are marked up. You know, it is what it is. But we have a little video clip of a time lapse that shows some of the work that's been done to date. If you guys up there could roll that, that would be terrific. All right, pretty exciting, huh? So what you saw there was 4 days worth of work. Imagine how much work is going to be put into this project over the balance of this year until we move in the end of 2018. Wait a minute, move in the end of 2018. That's what we've been saying? Oh. Well, because of who I am, I have the prerogative to change my schedule a little bit. And on the way over here, I decided I wanted to stop by the building myself and see what was going on. So I did. And I met Mike. Very happy to have met Mike. Mike is our site manager, foreman, project manager, guy who's responsible for everything happening on site. And I got to tell you, I feel really good about Mike. Because when I said to Mike, I said, we made a commitment to all the associates that we need to be in here by the end of the year. Are you going to be there? He says, absolutely. I said, really? He said, yeah. He says, it's tight, but we are going to deliver because I know that your current obligations in your current space end at the end of the year and you've made a commitment to your organization? I said, yeah. I said, I don't want to look like a fool. I said, this is important. We got to get on with the work, not just about the building. And he says, I will not embarrass you, Zachary. We are committed to delivering this by the end of 2018, and you guys will be in. So who loves Mike? I love Mike. I also met Josh and Jamie and a few other people on the crew, and I got to tell you, these guys are impressive. I'm used to maybe remodeling a kitchen. This is a whole different deal. So what do we get in our new space, right? So we wind up with a beautiful, you saw the pictures outside, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but the idea is a reception area that everyone's proud, that's warm, that's welcoming. After that, we're going to have the PDI experience, which really talks about the rich history of the company, how we've gotten to this point, where we're going, and it also gives people, it gives people the ability to see how all of our solutions work in their real environment, right? So whether it's food service, whether it's the contract manufacturing products we're making, whether it's healthcare and operating rooms or patient areas. But it also includes this whole track around the outside. This whole track is going to be the whole history of how we got from where we are, and a little bit of a vision as to where we're going, right? So what do we see the future holding? What is PDI going to continue to do and deliver to somebody's mother, brother, father, son, sister, and uncle, child, or lover? You know, what is it that we get up every day to do, we invest our lives in? Then here is a little bit of kind of what's in it for everyone, right? So we're building a lot of amenities into the space, as you know. Coffee spot, which I don't know if you guys can see, but my favorite part of the coffee spot is right here, right? That's the lens. That's the lens through which we see everything, right? That's where the patient sits. That's where the caregivers sit. That's frankly where you guys, the associates, sit. That's what we're building towards. We have a cafe, which will have grab-and-go food, as you know. This is a fitness area. Bring your own equipment. We ran out of money in the budget. It's really pretty, though. What is it? Body weight exercises? We're going to do this. Actually, I don't know if you noticed, but these are two doors, the outside here. It's actually situated on the north side of the building, on the top floor, in the most desirable space, because we really want to encourage people to be healthy and enjoy their time in the building. This is just a rendering of what the workstations will look like, give or take. And this is really where I want to have a philosophical, quick conversation. So workstation, atrium, before you had coffee spot, cafe, more atrium, maker space. This will be some visible R&D area. So what is it about these spaces, right? These spaces are all part of a 90,000 square foot building, which is your new workspace, right? Right now we live in a place with really almost no conference rooms, almost no community space, a tiny little pantry. So your life lives very much in your workstation, whether it's an office or a cubicle. Life 2019 is everyone here has a 90,000 square office that we're sharing, right? 23 conference rooms, team rooms, collaboration areas, stand-up work areas, stadium seating. I mean, basically the idea is everyone now just got promoted out of somewhere between, 100 or 80 square feet for them to use to 90,000. So we're feeling really good about that. Part of this, again, is how are we doing things different? Well, we've brought in a bunch of additional leadership to help our existing great team. I'm gonna hand it over to Ken in a second. But really, it's about thinking differently about what are the things that are going to carry us forward. What are the things that are going to get us where we want to go, right? Bringing everyone together, now having R&D in this space. Obviously, operations, unfortunately, doesn't all fit in under one roof at this moment. But really having everyone together and thinking, what is it we need to do to deliver on the promise? And whether that promise is a product launch, whether that promise is an order fulfillment, whether that promise is a career development plan for someone, whether that promise is training, whether that promise is onboarding and recruiting somebody, whatever it is that we have to actually do, we have to make sure that we're thinking about it in a way that's going to drive a result, not just an activity. And I am the most bullish person in the entire world, but I will tell you right now, seeing what you're going to hear over the rest of this town hall, and I've probably taken too much time already, is like, it's beyond exciting, because it's actually stuff that I'm learning tremendously from. It's stuff I didn't know how to do. It's stuff that's additive. And for some of you, you'll hear this stuff and you'll be like, oh, well, that's just normal. That's how great companies operate. Well, guess what? I pretty much grew up inside these four walls. And so my level of exposure and experience pretty much starts here. And to see us growing outside of our own four walls, to see us adding capabilities of embracing changing the way we do things, I think is just awesome. It's how we all grow together. So I want to welcome all the new leaders. I want to turn this over to Kent. And I'll be back at the end to close up with my dad with service awards as always. But, you know, we're moving from we're listening to we're doing. And I'm glad you're all a part of it.
Thank you, Zachary, and good afternoon to all of you. It's really exciting for me now about 7 months into my journey to be here with you, to be at PDI, to be living out this plan for the future, both in its physical space as well as its strategy of serving customers and delivering on the mission that has brought us all together. It's also really great to be here in Woodcliff Lake and to think about this community, both in our physical space, but also the community of the work that we're going to share together just right across the street in this city, in this town, in this place, as a foundation for how we go forward. And I'm thrilled to be here to share with you some of the great progress that we're making on building a plan for this business going forward, building not just a physical space that causes us to come together and collaborate, but also to share with you some new ways of working together as a business that are going to propel PDI into the future. So let me jump into that. I'm going to come up and down a few times during the course of the presentation today, MC this big middle part of our town hall, and invite a few other people up as we go along, okay? So let's just start by going back to where we were in November, going back to how this journey together started at our last town hall in the new building across the street. We talked about this exciting opportunity that we have, these highly leverageable assets that allow us to grow and develop this business, this wonderful and growing market that we're in together. This great platform for expansion, right? This business that has some size that gives us lots of opportunities to grow and many interesting directions to go into. And this concept of a valuable brand, right? Something that you believe in, something that our owners believe in, something that our customers believe in, and something that constituents who come together and participate with PDI in so many different ways, our suppliers and others, can really appreciate. All of those are great assets. You know, one of the things that really has, in fact, probably the primary thing that has allowed us to enjoy this special opportunity to move forward is the fact that we've invested in this great brand, right? We've created this mission, this vision, this context for our actions and how we interact with each other and how we interact with all of the people that we serve that is really and genuinely meaningful to us and meaningful to the people that we face in the market. So if we think about what we need to do to build the direction for PDI in the future, check the why box, right? We know why we're here. There's no question about that. When we came together back in November, we said we were going to put a lot of effort into understanding further the what are the strategies that are going to take the business forward, and how are we going to do that work together in a more productive and more rewarding way. We also identified that there was a little bit of an issue, right? Something that we had to declare, something that we had to treat seriously, this long history of growth, right? 10 years in our core healthcare business of a 14% annual organic growth rate. The last 5 years growing at 9%. But as we stood there back in November, only 4% growth projected for 2017 and about 4% in our budget for 2018 going forward. Something had happened. Not in the market was still growing in excess of that, but something had happened at least in that moment of our performance, how we were dealing with that opportunity, how we were fueling the business for growth. We'd hit a speed bump. And our challenge at that time, the one that we have laid out together as a management team since then, was to ask ourselves this question of how we return to mission-measured growth, right? How we use now this broad portfolio of businesses, our healthcare business, our Sani-Pro business, and our contract business, to get back on this curve of growth and this curve of leadership and performance so that we're growing not just with a growing market, but growing in a way that accelerates past the growing market, right? That really shows that PDI is the leader. And I think you'll be encouraged to see that there's been progress already in taking on this mission. So it has been an extraordinary start to 2018, and Tony will come up in just a minute and share some of the numbers with you, but it's really been a great start to this year. Some of that is the great benefit that we have from the flu virus. There's no question about that, and the needs of our customers for service in that area. But there's too many points of positive momentum to say that it's all about that. It's all about those market factors. And I would say that while we're early in this journey, the hard work that you're doing, that your colleagues are doing, that the leadership team, that the associates who couldn't be here today because they're in our manufacturing facility or they're out facing customers, our collective efforts are starting to find some momentum. So 14% top-line growth in the first quarter of 2018 is a great way to start. Give yourselves just a little bit of applause for that. And feeling like something well in excess of our budget is very attainable for this year. So we're off to a great start. There's also been a lot of other very positive changes as we've gone throughout this year. We promoted SB Carrion to the position of VP and General Manager in the Sani-Pro business, and that business has just wonderful momentum with its core customers. We've made exciting progress both with our performance and also with new customers in the contract manufacturing business, especially with our new customer, Dermira, that's helping us demonstrate our strategy of entering the pharma market. We've welcomed Tom McCurdy, who you're going to hear from in just a few moments, as our new SVP and General Manager of the healthcare business. And of critical importance, we're launching new products in our core business. We're launching our new Prime products. We're launching our new Profend interventional product. We're launching our Prevantix products with new claims that we call the 30/30 claims. And we're launching and sharing with our customers new assessment tools that help them understand both cost as well as clinical outcomes and how that marries together with the utilization of our products in their facilities. We're launching new products to support our business. That's a theme that we'll carry forward with month after month, year after year, meeting after meeting when we come together. It's the lifeblood of PDI, and it's the thing that we have to focus on to take us forward. Our international business has acquired a business called Next Medical, a nice little portfolio of interventional products. Those products are already being sold by our colleagues in the international business, and we've licensed those products to develop and sell in an appropriate format for the US market. We're executing on our outside-in BD&L strategy. To that end, we've welcomed Antonio Sanchez Cordero as our new SVP of Corporate Strategy and Business Development. Antonio is here in the front row. If you can just give a little wave, Antonio, for those who haven't met you yet. So we're bringing new capacity and new capability to that effort. I'm going to talk quite a bit as the presentation continues about taking meaningful steps to creating new capabilities and new ways of collaborating to work together to make sure that our new product momentum continues, both organically and inorganically. We're supporting a culture of performance, all right, of a culture that's focused on delivering results through our business and on to our customers, with some new and exciting changes to our total rewards program that Renee will share with you in just a moment. And we're clarifying our organizational strategies and priorities. Again, I'll share just a bit of that with you as our presentation goes forward, right? But let's get into the numbers. Let's see what Q1 looked like from the inside out. I'll welcome Tony up to the stage.
Guy's dream to come up here and present numbers like we have in Q1. So it's not often, but we had a business unit hat trick in Q1. So all three business units achieved in excess of budget on the top line and bottom line for the quarter. So our friend the flu paid a visit in Q1 and allowed us to ship significantly more than we planned. Now, that comes at a cost, too. I mean, everybody has to pull together to meet this demand. It's not like we have a warehouse full of product, which we do, but not to this extent. So sales, marketing, manufacturing operations, everybody has to come together because those orders keep coming in. So healthcare overshipped by roughly $6 million and change in Q1, okay? And a very nice margin, which dropped straight down. So we achieved almost 111% in Q1. A nice portion of that comes from AF3 and bleach, which carry a much higher margin than the average of the business unit, which then drops down to the operating profit with an incremental 26.9% ahead of plan for the month. So one of the things we do on a regular quarterly basis is we do a latest estimate. And the latest estimate is a reforecast of the year. We take the first 3 months actual and we look at the remaining 9 months and we kind of scale out what it's going to look like for the year. So that said, when we try to track our bonus target achievement for healthcare for Q1 and the balance of the year, even though we've oversold and overprofited in Q1, we are tracking towards only 100% achievement in bonus. One of the reasons for that is even though we've oversold and we're planning to keep most of that oversell in Q1, the rest of the year has significant risk in raw material costs, as well as some unplanned spending that has to happen for the balance of the year. So that said, we are still tracking towards 100% achievement at this point in the year. Sani Pro, similar, 113% above of plan on top line, and 162% of operating profit. That's mostly a margin play. A lot of that oversell came from less than favorable margin products. That said, when we look at the scale of the balance of the year and the latest estimate, Sani Pro is going to achieve 100% at this point, assuming we can hit on all cylinders for the balance of the year and deliver what we say. Contract, rounding out the hat trick for the quarter, again, plus $1 million on the quarter. One of the benefits here was a very favorable mix for her customer base, Cheryl Margin. Where's Cheryl? Nicely done. So we oversold in Summer's Eve and Cetaphil, two product lines that carry significant incremental margins. I believe Cetaphil is a 49% variable margin and Summer's Eve is like 37%, which is significantly better than the rest of the contract manufacturing business. That's all going to average out over time. We were just the beneficiary in Q1. That said, significantly higher operating profit. Some of this driven by favorable purchase price variance. Cheryl's got a lot of startup coming, and the MOQs, the minimum order quantities associated with that are better than we planned, which drive better purchasing habits and favorable pricing. So then we look at North America for the year. 111%, excuse me, for the quarter. 111% up for the quarter, and 141% on operating profit. Significantly better than planned, makes my job easier, and I thank all of you for doing what you do every day. But then we look at all the parts of the latest estimate as we pull them together, and we are tracking towards 100% bonus achievement for the year. Again, when you add all these individual things I talked about in terms of higher raw material risk, as well as some unplanned spending that has to happen throughout the year, we are tracking towards 100% achievement. But that means that all that gain I made in Q1 is going to erode somewhat through the balance of the year, and assuming we can maintain top-line growth. And with that, that rounds out Q1, and I'm going to hand off to Tom McCurdy now.
You know, I learned a long time ago, if finance is happy, it tends to make for a better year. So, Tony, we are committing, the 100% bonus is good. He's not even listening to me here. 100% of bonus is good.
100% bonus is great.
But there's an opportunity to do even better than that. And from a healthcare perspective, and I know SB and as well from Cheryl's perspective, just make sure we're printing money because we have full expectations we're going to blow past that. Right? Everybody good with that? All right. So, for those of you who I've not yet had a chance to meet, as Kent alluded to and Tony as well, my name is Tom McCurdy. I've been with the company now for a little over 3 months, started in the middle of January, and I will say I could not be more genuinely excited to be in front of this group. The people that I've met, the customers that I've had the fortune to connect with so far, the teams that are working tirelessly to bring products to market, the platform that we compete in or call home, everything is really well positioned to continue to grow and, quite honestly, to accelerate the growth that many of you folks in the room here and those on the phone have already put the foundation down for. So as I look out over 2018, and I'm going to speak to you a little bit about what really motivates and energizes a commercial team, but before I do that, I want to just once again reiterate and congratulate my sisters in crime, SB and Cheryl, for really tremendous performances in the first quarter, both of which have come over 100% and deserves one more round of applause. So congratulations, SB and Cheryl. And I also want to recognize, just quickly, Tony alluded to some of the numbers on the healthcare team, but the team has worked tirelessly in the first quarter. And yep, we did have a little bit of a windfall from the flu, but there's also a lot of conversions that took place in the end of 2017 that set up 2018's Q1 for a really good ride. So as Tony alluded to, we came in almost 111%, rounded up. You always round revenue up, you always round expenses down, right, Tony? So revenue, we came in about 111%, give or take a couple of decimal points there, and that translates, just so everybody gets the perspective, that's about $6 million more of contributions from a revenue perspective than what quota had asked for. If you look at what we delivered to the bank, it's an extra $2 million. So that's $2 million of unexpected deposits that are going into the bank. Now the key, as Tony alluded to, is to not let that momentum die down. Rather, instead, continue to escalate and accelerate the growth of that momentum. Let's not ride that wave. Let's continue to build that wave and drive it for the balance of 2018 as well, moving into 2019. So really, really pleased on the performance for healthcare in Q1. And you may be saying, okay, well, what happened in April? I'm delighted to say now that we have April numbers pretty much in the bank, another really strong month. So the first trimester, 1/3 of the year being over, and healthcare is looking to be right around 108, 108.5, call it 109, round it up again, for the year, thus far. So again, it's all about driving that momentum. And when you ask yourself the question, how do you motivate, how do you energize a commercial team? It's pretty simple. The lifeblood of an organization, the lifeblood of a commercial organization, is all about new technologies, bringing new products to market. There is nothing more like kryptonite than when you're a customer-facing person and the customer says, "It is great to see you, Cheryl. What's new?" And it's crickets. It is far more exciting and far more rewarding when a customer says, "Hey, Tom, it's great to see you. What's new?" And you say, pull up a chair, open up that sales bag. I got an hour's worth of stuff that we're going to talk about. Because that's the lifeblood that keeps the commercial folks engaged and energized and keeps our customers energized with us as well. On the commercial side, we get all the fanfare, right? We have all the big sales meetings and all the big awards banquets, but we also recognize that behind the scenes, if not for the people sitting in front of me here and many of the folks that are on the phone today, doing the work that you do day in and day out, well, then our awards banquet would be pretty boring. Because we are as good as the work that you guys do, and we don't lose sight of that. We don't forget that. and we recognize the hard work that everybody here and everybody around the country relative to plants, manufacturing, supply chain, working aggressively to drop costs down from our vendors, all of that and other work that you guys do to help position us favorably as we have a very solid year. So thank you for that. New products. I want to talk very quickly about the new products. What you see here in the aggregate is about $4 million worth of quota or growth expected for 2018. And what's more exciting than a $4 million quota is the fact that we have a line of sight towards $5 million to be realized in 2018 revenue. Said another way, that looks like we're in a really good position to exceed, eclipse, go past what the 2018's $4 million quota on these products alone represents. So there are 3 products, and then on the lower right-hand side, you see a tool. I want to walk you through very quickly what that tool is. It's called the Insight app. And I woke up this morning to an email from Sabrina. Sabrina and Charlene and her team have done a masterful job of designing, understanding a need that our customer base has, and arming our territory managers with a tool that will enable them to solve customer issues. And I got an email this morning that said, download the app today, it's available. So we've officially commercialized this today, and that was with a lot of effort from Charlene, I think she's somewhere in the back, and Sabrina. What this tool does, I'll put it into layman's terms, this tool enables our territory managers to go in and have a very robust, a very rich and engaging conversation with our customers about the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? We're all about driving infections down. How do we avoid hospital-acquired infections? Well, if they use our technology with greater routine and frequency, we know it correlates to lower infection rates. This app, in the hands of our territory managers, will enable them to go in and make observations. And they'll identify opportunity areas, and they'll identify strengths of our customers. And then they'll have an enriched, robust conversation back with the decision maker to say, you're doing pretty well here, here, and here, but over here, here, and here, there's an opportunity for additional utilization of what? Multiple products, but also, namely, our products. And it's not about just driving consumption of our products, which is a good thing for bonus purposes. It's always good, Tony reaffirmed, but it's also good because it's dropping the infection rates of our mother, brother, sister, etc. So this is the gift that keeps on giving, and we are really excited to have that type of a tool in the hands of a bunch of sharpshooters that we refer to as our territory managers. Right? Let's slide over to the left side of the screen, and you see 30/30, which is Prevantix. Now, many of you probably know what Prevantix does. The bottom line is the 30/30 claim, that's about application time and dry time. Prior to that claim, we were about 3 minutes, and the competition was at a minute. So we now are on parity. And that eliminates an objection of a sales call that says, it takes too long for me to use your product. I may like it, I may prefer it, but it's just too long. That objection is now eliminated. So line of sight, to give you guys some perspective of how well the team's doing, we have about a $250,000 quota for the year. We've had 6 conversions from December through year to date, and we have about 220,000 run rate. So we have high confidence, again, that we will be able to retire that number in 2018. There's a theme here, and it's about you folks having confidence in the field's ability to execute, the commercial team's ability to get stuff done. If you look at the upper right, Profend, right? And I'm looking out there, I think I see Paul Kelleher. Paul hasn't slept a whole lot because he's studied, he's focused, he's dialed in to the nasal decolonization marketplace. Isn't that what you guys all love to know about, the nasal decolonization marketplace? That's Paul's world, right? That's pretty exciting. Bottom line, what does it do? Nasal decolonization is a marketplace that has the ability to reduce SSIs, surgical site infections. 2 of the leading instances or indications for cases where SSIs occur, orthopedics, knees and hips, as well as cardiac, hearts. We have a technology that addresses those primary patients and has the ability to reduce SSIs. It answers an existing clinical issue that our customers have. And I'm carrying this pamphlet because on the back of it is an example of the type of advertising that the marketing team, under Paul's leadership, is focused on. For the folks on the phone, you can't see it, but it's a full-page ad on the back of a trade journal. And it's talking about how this is a technology that is far different than the competition. It's far different than the gold standard. And it has significant opportunity for improvement in terms of clinical efficacy. A couple of results. We had our first conversion that was announced last week in Hunterton, right down the street here in Jersey. Jeff Lusby did a great job. Only thing is, he got trumped this morning. There was another good email. There's a good day on email, by the way. We got an email this morning that said Jenna Connors in Milwaukee converted a 250-bed hospital. Now, put that into perspective. You live around here, Valley Hospital. Valley's probably even bigger than 250, Christine, I would guess, right? So it's a smaller community-based institution. $110,000 worth of business in a tiny, sleepy little community hospital that was converted in Milwaukee. So between those two alone, we are well on our path to achieving the annual quota for ProFend. So really excited about that. All right, then there's the big one, the big upper right-hand side, which is Prime. How many folks in the room here have had anything to do with us launching Prime? Okay. So folks on the phone, you can't see it, but there were a lot of hands that just went up. And I want to say that this represents the essence of teamwork, right? It would be incorrect if I were to say this didn't have its challenges to get to a commercial state, right? But the team has worked tirelessly and focused on finding ways to overcome some of the development challenges that we've had. And they have gotten this product to the point where, effective last week, we have announced full commercialization for the month of May. We will commercialize this product in the month of May, and we will do so. We will do so with wind in our sails, wind at our backs. And why is that? Because we did a limited market release, which is a test pilot, fancy word for test pilot. We tested it in 3 institutions: Doctors Hospital, Community Hospital, and then Tampa General. And if anyone's ever been to any of the hospitals down in Florida, there are 2 flagships. There's the UF, University of Florida in Gainesville, and then there's Tampa General. These are the 2 big institutions, and as they go, typically the rest of Florida and the Southeast has a tendency to follow. So to take down Tampa General would be great. Early indications from all 3 test pilots that we've conducted is 100% expectation of full conversion over to Prime. And it's not just converting that matters, it's that this is all incremental business. These were competitive accounts and did what I refer to as the Coke-Pepsi challenge, Prime versus the incumbent, and has come back with Prime being the victor. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why new products are the lifeblood behind this organization and behind any commercialization. So before I wind down, I want to tell you a quick, fun little story. You may know a gentleman by the name of Will Perry. Will is a sales director for us that lives in Dallas. He's a hyper-competitive guy. He drives his team very hard. He holds them highly accountable. Basically, he gets stuff done. And he and I had a conversation recently about how he drives the business, and it was a great conversation. And then when it was done, I said, you know, that's great, Will. I get the fact that you're dialed in. I get the fact that you hold your team accountable. Tell me about your family. Tell me about what you do offline to kind of decompress. Assuming you do decompress, what would it look like if you did ever decompress? Tell me about your kids. So he did. And it was a great conversation. And I said, you know, Will, do me a favor. Can you send me a picture of what happiness looks like in the Perry family? Right? Now, normally, you would expect this, right? 2 beautiful kids, a white golden retriever, a white picket fence, and a minivan in the garage, right? And you see the 17-year-old girl that looks super comfortable being hugged by her little brother there, the 14-year-old, like, get away from me, will you? But that's not what I got from Will, right? So I asked Will, send me a picture of what happiness looks like. He didn't send me his kids. He sent me this. And what you see here is the inventory cage. And I use the word cage on purpose because it's under lock and key. Prime is behind the lock and key because they know it's a winner. And Tampa General has worked so hard, and Will has worked so hard with so many people on the phone and in this room to drive that conversion that it single-handedly will represent 20% of our entire annual quota. 1 building, 1 address, 20% of our entire annual quota for 2018 Prime. So hats off to anybody and everybody who had anything to do with the Tampa General conversion. In closing, because I'm going to get the hook, I want to just recognize and reinforce that historically the commercial teams are the teams that get the praise. They're the ones that, you know, get the milk poured on them when they win, you know, Talladega, whatever that's called in Florida, right? Those are the teams that get a lot of the praise and the success. but we recognize as a commercial entity that it takes an entire village for a commercial entity to have the success that you folks have allowed the commercial team to be set up to enjoy throughout 18 and beyond. So thank you very much, and congrats on a great start.
All right. Did we talk about the new products and how important that is? Yeah, there we go. Extremely important. Did we talk about the science that supports the new products? Yeah, we did. Did we talk about the commitment of our commercial team to bring those products to our customers? Absolutely we did. Did we talk about the manufacturing of our products and everything that means, the procurement of new materials for our business, the systems that make our business run, on and on through the list. All of those things, all of your efforts are having a real and genuine effect and putting us in a great position to move forward. So how are we going to move forward? Well, when we got together back in November, we said we're going to put this plan together and loosely and maybe a little bit more specifically laid out here than is necessary. We said we're going to spend the first half of this year really trying to understand the commercial outlook for this business, really taking a deeper dive into the potential of the organic growth projects that were in the mix right now, really sorting out the business development opportunities that we really felt that we could go execute, and refining that commercial strategy for the business. That's going well, and I'll share with you some of the output of that process in just a minute. What we said we're going to do in the back half of the year is look at the operating strategy, right? The manufacturing, the logistics, the systems requirements to support that business while we build a multi-year financial plan to show where the business is going, to show that we can really get back on that growth curve, that we really have an opportunity to return this business to mission-measured growth. That work is ahead of us, but I'm very confident we'll get it done. So what came out of that effort to define the commercial strategy, the front-end plan for this business? Well, what we've ended up with is 4 statements of intent. That we would develop and acquire, right? That we develop new products fundamental to supporting and growing the core of our business, and we would acquire new product forms and new functionality that would help to stretch and make the business broader. Great examples of that are the Prime project that Tom just took you through, Profend, which is one of those outside-in projects, right? Through our procurement group, through our marketing group, and through our BD&L team. We would develop new products for third parties in our contract business. The Dermira project is a great example of that. 3 Kings just around the corner for our SaniPro business, and examples of acquisitions like Next Medical, where we hope there's certainly many more to come. So we develop and acquire. Next, we'd penetrate and serve, right? We have to understand that the existing customers' relationships that we have today, the existing markets that we're in today, each and every one of those opportunities, every product, every customer, is our greatest opportunity to grow. And so that we would leverage those existing products and customer relationships to grow the business. We would understand what those customers need from us in terms of clinical, economic value, and performance. We would continuously improve the way we service those customers and the way and the efficiency through which we run our business ourselves. Great examples of that are the renewal of the Vizient and HPG contracts, ongoing initiatives, distributor programs that help get more out of not just our sales team, but the sales teams of each and every one of the distributors that carry our products. Growing the SaniPro business with great new customer relationships that are all part of this year's plan, like Cane's, like Waffle House, and like IHOP. You'll see examples of our products being used in those customers before the end of 2018. The services that we can bring to our customer, like the new app that Tom just took you through, clinical research that says our products are better and here's the evidence in a real world clinical or customer environment that shows how. So we would penetrate and serve our existing base of customers. If we're good enough at that, then we earn the right to expand and explore. So taking known product forms and new product types to new market verticals that appreciate what we do. Great examples of that would include our move that we've already made into the food service business with SaniPro, or future moves that are out there for us, like serving the environmental services, the staff that cleans hospitals and other healthcare facilities, using new tools to further expand the reach and touch more customers, like digital marketing tools, using Amazon and other services, and eventually find ways to grow the PDI business geographically into new markets around the world. Finally, what explore means is giving ourselves the chance to really go back to the bench and invent something new, really giving ourselves the time and coming up with a work process that allows ourselves the latitude to look at real innovation and real invention to support the business. Again, if we do that right, we've got a chance to continue to build and invest in this business for the future, leveraging our growing size and scale, building capabilities to support the future growth of the business that are consistent with our mission, investing in infrastructure and systems, and attracting, rewarding, and advancing the right people in our organization, making that connection between the performance of the business, your performance, and your opportunity to grow as an associate of PDI. You heard Zachary come up earlier and talk so passionately about his willingness to invest in the future of PDI, to create that infrastructure that allows us to work together. And all of those things are possible as we continue to execute the strategy for growth. So we've talked a lot about the importance of new product and innovation in our mix. And for a long time, we've had a good approach to doing that, right? We had a concept, something that we called New Horizons, that really created a framework for organic product development and growth. In some ways, it was very useful. Certainly, it brought marketing and R&D together in a very helpful way. But it didn't create the entire infrastructure. It didn't create the entire environment necessary multifunctionally to create the right amount of focus, the right multifunctional teamwork, and the right execution to win. And probably not having been as good as this as we should have been is what helped us cause a little bit of that inflection point that we're now working our way out of. So what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to launch officially today, or maybe tomorrow, May 1st, something that we're calling New Horizons 2.0, a new approach to what we might also call core teams, right? Bringing people from multiple functions around the organization together with a common purpose, with a common focus, with a set of resources that they own, that have been delegated to them to get work done in the field of product innovation. So what are our objectives? 5 objectives from this initiative. 1, to fill the pipeline, to never again be able to look back and say, there's nothing more for us to take forward to our customers, but to always say, this is so exciting. How can we get this work done? So to fill the pipeline. To create a system for organizing the work across all of the functions of the business that are part of bringing innovation to our customers. To create a successful interface for new technologies and new products that might come from the outside in, but need to be enhanced in some way by our team. So to create that point of connectivity with our business development function. To create a successful change management so that anything that needs to change as it touches products, a new label, a new regulatory initiative, a cost savings can be managed effectively in the business. And to improve the governance of our new product development process, right? To hold management as accountable as we hold the teams of people who are actually working on the projects themselves, to hold us accountable to the same goals for growth, right? So this concept is about teams. It's about multifunctional work done by multifunctional teams. And we're going to reorganize a bit our product development effort in this fashion. We're going to bring people together with clear leadership, with a clear portfolio of projects, a piece of the business that they own, with well-defined scope, with resources that have been delegated to them. We're going to give each of those 5 teams a leader, somebody we can trust, someone capable and ready to take on this new assignment, and we're going to assign around that leader people from the variety of functions in the business who will be part of that effort of growth. They will be dedicated or largely dedicated to this effort, right? They'll have that ability, that luxury of focus on moving new and changing products through our system to the market, so we no longer have the reason or maybe sometimes the excuse of having too many things to do to get the job done. We're also going to change a bit how these groups interact with the governance team, right? The governance team for product development that we call the PRC, right? That's just a cross-section of senior managers in our organization. And we're going to make sure that it's clear what the rules of engagement are, that each of these teams is actually executing against the strategies of our 3 business units, and again, that we've got this balance of accountability and expectations, both for senior management as well as for these teams. There'll be 5 teams that we operate around, that we organize around, each led by the individuals that you see named here. So the first team, up in the far left corner, is the Environment of Care Core Product Development Team, right? This is a team that will serve the benefits of both the healthcare and the SaniPro business. Think our major new product and wipes development initiatives like the Prime product that we just launched, or similar products that come to market for the SaniPro business. That team will be led by Candace Taylor. But our paradigm for the environment of care, right, our paradigm for PDI's ability to serve in the surface disinfection market isn't just limited to that single product form. So there'll be a second team that we call the EOC, or the Environment of Care Innovation Team. That team will be looking at that same customer problem of how do we keep our environment clean, how do we keep our environment free from unnecessary infection and unnecessary risk, but maybe having the ability to do it with something other than a canister of wipes. We're going to start by sorting out many of our BD&L initiatives, our business development initiatives that might service or serve that benefit, and transition leadership of that team to our new director of marketing in the environment of care. We'll also have an interventional care innovation business led by Stefan Wollert. That organization will be focused on taking products either internally sourced or products that can be sourced from the outside in, much like Profend or much like the Next Medical example, adding value to those products through our system, getting them ready to be marketed and sold by the PDI commercial teams, and pushing those as fast as we can out into the market and into the hands of our customers. Down in the bottom left corner, marketed product support. What's that all about, and why is Scott Popkin the right guy to lead it? Well, Scott's the right guy to lead this because this is about getting changes through our manufacturing facility, making a regulatory label claim, making a material change, changing the form and format of existing products, but taking all of that work away, or as much as we possibly can, from those other groups of people who are really focused on new, big innovation projects, segregating the work for the purpose of getting the work done in the most effective and efficient way, and isolating and accomplishing this work, changes to existing products, in as quick a cadence as we possibly can is mission critical to making this whole engine move efficiently. Finally, we'll recognize that our contract manufacturing team as it exists today under Cheryl Mallon's leadership is really a core team today, right? They have a certain amount of resources, they interact with our existing facilities, they tap into different parts of the business, and having a more open and regular dialogue with that part of the business and the governance aspect of the PRC as it sits over all of product development is really beneficial from how we look at using resources across the organization and prioritizing initiatives and investments across the organization. So 5 teams really focused on taking PDI to the next level and not having it be too long before we see that great list of new products that Tom took you through just a few minutes ago. So we've got a great market. We have a wonderful platform, and we have this amazing pre-invested brand that all of our customers are really waiting for us to illuminate with new product form and functionality that help them do their jobs and help our business grow. We do have an opportunity to reinforce what's so great about the culture and leadership of our organization. We're fully committed to that mission of why, of serving patients, serving customers, and preventing preventable infections, but we need to continue to do better at understanding the what of our strategies and the how of execution. We have a great opportunity to return to innovation based on organizing our work in a very different way, and through all of those efforts, have the chance, in fact, are already demonstrating our capability and our performance of returning to mission-measured growth. If we take all of that approach to this business, our business, the business that we share together, and we make sure that you understand your personal opportunities amidst all of this, that you understand your career development potential as part of that journey at PDI, and if we present that to you in a way that helps you understand the total rewards to you as an employee, I have a feeling that we'll be up here celebrating many wonderful achievements going forward. So I'd like to end on that note and ask Renee to come up to talk about some very exciting changes to our Total Rewards program that deliver on exactly what I've just said. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. So this afternoon, you've heard a lot about growth, performance, value creation, and when the company changes, we also have to take a look at how we're rewarding folks and make sure that there's an alignment there. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. We do have a pay-for-performance philosophy at PDI, and in order to strengthen that and make a better connection between individual achievements and organizational accomplishments, we as a leadership team decided to take a look at our annual incentive plan to make sure that it was aligned and driving a pay-for-performance philosophy. So what did we change? We looked at the plan overall and feel that the plan itself is really pretty sound, but wanted to provide more latitude to managers in how they actually distribute the awards for people. So you'll remember in 2017, we had one individual performance multiplier for each one of the rating categories. We're expanding that, similar to our merit program, which gives you guidelines of how much merit you could give based on a performance rating. Managers will now have the leeway to consider how they dole out and manage their bonus pool. So you can see we've now put a range of individual multipliers with a bottom end for each category and an upper limit for each category. And managers will work this very similar to the way they do their merit pools. We'll also be putting an automated system in place for managers that's similar to the merit planning process that we use now. So what isn't changing? Tony shared before the different categories that he looks at when we're looking at the bonus pool funding. So we did not change the way the bonus pool funds. It's still the way that it has happened in years past. If we achieve an operating income of a certain percentage, a corresponding percentage of a bonus pool will fund. The other thing that we haven't changed is the bonus formula. That remains the same. The only thing that changes there is you're not just eligible for one individual performance multiplier, but there's a range there for managers to utilize. And just so you could see some sample calculations, We did one at 80%, one at 100%, and one at the upper limit of 140, just to give you an idea of what that might look like. So wanting to better align our individual achievements to value creation in the organization, we'll have a way now to really differentiate the way we pay for performance with regard to our bonus planning system. Next steps. So we're not going into deep detail here about the changes to the plan, so we're setting up functional meetings, and each organization with their leader and human resources will take a little bit of a deeper dive, allow you the opportunity to ask questions that you're not going to be asking today, and also announce a more formalized reward and recognition program that we've been looking to roll out and will likely roll out in 2019. So be on the lookout on your calendars for those dates to come if they're not already there. Talking about rewards, I'd like to have the next section for Robert and Zachary to come up to talk about recognition for our people that have been here for service awards.
Thank you. Okay, we're going a little over. We're usually pretty good about hitting time, but we certainly don't want to shortchange our most valuable assets, which is our associates. So, as always, Pop, this is your moment. This is your moment. So I just want to say one thing before we get started. I just want to reinforce what Renee was saying. There are going to be breakouts by function and by functional leader to go through all of the requirements for the new performance management bonus attainment system. Philosophically, this idea is if you do an amazing job, you should get compensated for it. Right now, the way the system's set up is everybody kind of lives in a similar band. So you could sit there and look at someone next to you and say, well, they come, they do an okay job, they go home, and I kill myself and I deliver a huge amount of value. Why are we getting compensated the same way? And this is a tool to start to really acknowledge and differentiate people who are really busting their rear end for us. So, next.
Is this on? Yes? Okay. What a great day. Terrific. Zachary, Kent, Tom, and the whole team, you guys are doing it. You're blowing it out of the park, and Tony loves it. I know that. And he's always going to tell you, well, there's this and there's that, and we get tough roads ahead. He wants to keep your foot to the pedal and pedal on the metal. But unbelievable start for the year on top of last year, and the exciting things that are coming out this year are really a fitting reward for all the efforts that everybody's put in to get here. And so part of that, obviously, is our service awards, and without all of you and all of the people we recognize every year for this, they're not all here, we wouldn't be here, and it's also part of the future. So I've got a few, and we'll start with 5 years. Number one is Craig K.
Oop.
Craig, are you here?
I don't know, I have the same slides as you have on your,
Oh,
it started here.
I put it in alphabetical order. That's it. Okay, you have slides up there? Sorry. Donald Myers, didn't mean to shortchange you. Donald? Are they coming up, Zachary, or what are we doing?
No, just if
Okay.
you're here, yes, there you go.
Okay. Congratulations, Donald. All right, I'll stay in order. Next. Ashish Rana. I don't know whether he's right to left or left to right, whatever it is, top to bottom, but here we
My
are.
dyslexia is
Anyhow,
in first
it doesn't
generation.
matter which way you read. Congratulations to each and every one of you. So, Ashish Rana, are you here?
Nope.
No? And finally, Craig K. Craig?
Twice for Craig.
Thank you. Okay. Jumped to 10 years. Katie, that's
No,
right.
Katie was the end of 5, then 10, then, so, yeah, it's okay. So Katie's the last 5. Katie, you're on the
Katie here?
phone, I assume. Remember I mentioned something about high performers before?
Okay.
Katie is a rock star.
All right. was on my 10-year plane. But you're going to be here for 10 anyway. Katie, thank you.
Yes.
10 years. Nicole Simpson.
All right, we got that right. Can't see with the lights at all.
Janet Madrigal. Can't believe this is 10 years already. Charlene. Congratulations. We don't count all the overtime and the many extra hours you put into making these events work, but Charlene, fabulous. Thank you. Raquel Medina.
Oop, sorry.
That's all right. Next one is Kristen Fiore, who's not. Kristen is not here because she just had a baby boy, so really great event. We will make sure she gets some wonderful baby wipes. Yaniri Almanzar. Yaniri? Thank you. And 15 years. Alfredo Lopez Valderutin. Alfredo, is he here? Okay, now we have another very special service award. I don't have it written down here, but I will tell you this is really a wonderful opportunity to introduce this. So, Jamie, roll the tape.
Congratulations on 15 years with the company, Zachary. You started out in a small office in a nice back building with a whiteboard wall, which we still talk about to this day. And you rented offices at 125 South Greenwich. We started with a small section. In your 15th year, you added a PDI complex in Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey. You envisioned a plane. The plane, boss, the plane. You envisioned a building. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. You're an amazing human being, and most of all, you're an amazing boss. Love you always, D.
Hi, Zach. Congratulations on your 15-year anniversary. It has been a great journey, and I remember a conversation we had a long time ago that you said you wanted to go big or go home. Well, Zach, we didn't go home.
Zachary, congratulations on your 15-year anniversary. You know, it's a real pleasure working for a leader who demonstrates such passion for the PDI mission. Congratulations again, and looking forward to the next 15.
What an amazing job you've done with PDI, where the company has come this past 15 years, and I truly look forward to the next 15 years. Congratulations.
Zachary, congratulations on your anniversary. Here's to many more successful and safe years to come.
Hey Zachary, greetings from Arizona. Just sending you a quick video to congratulate you on your 15-year milestone with the organization. I also wanted to thank you for your continued support and dedication and commitment to the Sandy Professional team. So with that, cheers.
Congratulations on 15 years at PDI. What a ride. I also want to thank you for the opportunity for working at such a great company, a company that touches so many lives in a positive way. It's such a great feeling. I can't wait to see what we do over the next 15 years and beyond. Thanks a lot and congratulations.
So I was at a Sandy Professional team building event a number of years ago, and it was on a golf course, and I look across and I see this guy, and he's wearing lime green pants and orange shirt, and I'm like, who can this be? Well, it's Zachary Julius. And 15 years later, it's been a great ride. I want to congratulate you on the 15 years that we've had together. Congratulations.
Zachary, thank you for your vision, your leadership, and your support. Under your guidance, all things truly are possible. So, on this very special occasion, I want to offer you an old Irish toast. May the days of your future be no worse than the absolute best days of your past. Happy anniversary, Zachary.
Hey Zachary, it's Dave Cervantes coming to you from beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. I wanted to say congratulations on your 15 years with PDI. But before I did that, do you know what color this is?
Blue. Blue.
Big hugs and congrats again on 15 years at the helm at PDI.
Congratulations, Zachary. This is very exciting time for PDI. With your leadership and passion for infection prevention has taken this company to new heights in last 15 years. I feel extremely proud and privileged to be part of this journey with you and PDI family.
Zachary, I want to congratulate you on your 15-year anniversary at PDI. I really respect your leadership, but most importantly value your friendship. I want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for giving me the opportunity to be part of the PDI family. Love you, man.
What's next on the slide?
Before I turn this over to Zachary, just a couple of words. Obviously, we're all very fortunate to have had Zachary lead us to this place with PDI, to build on the family values that we've created, to follow the dream, which I told him very young, is there's no limit to what you can do if you really put your mind to it, and don't be afraid to do it your way. And I think we all know that he's done that. So those of you who said thank you for 15 years and we want to be around for the next 15, jump on because it might be a lot more than that. But in any event, incredible accomplishments. You deserve this day. You deserve everything that's gone into it. And we all obviously wish you nothing but good health and many, many more years of success ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, where's Diane? Diane, did you make it here? She did not make it here. I understand why now. What? Where are you? Now I know. Well, I know we're over time, but I have to take a minute. It's funny, I was sitting there saying when I get up here with my dad, what are the messages I want to reinforce? And I guess I realized I don't have to. What I wanted to talk about was never letting go of what it is we do every day and why we do it. And having a genuine commitment to making sure that the organization stays and holds on to those things. And I think what you guys all did, dirty little sneakers, for me, which I can barely talk if you haven't been able to figure that out, embodies the thing I cherish most about being here and what I get to do every day, right? When you live with the credo that says, change the world, work with people you love, have fun to make money, it's pretty hard not to know what to do with yourself when an expression of gratitude and love from people who deeply care comes through like this. I always say thank you for investing your lives. Most valuable thing you have on the planet in this journey with me, and I don't think I've ever been, even though I know I'm making funny faces trying not to cry, ever been more honored or proud or feeling authentically connected to each and every one of you, and how important this is to me. It's really unbelievable. There are no words. Thank you. if you treat me this well, just think about somebody's mother, brother, father, son, sister, and uncle, child, or lover, and how much we do for them. Come here, Diane.
Hello. I love you, too. YHP, you got people.
All right, I think there's food and refreshments outside. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. The meeting has ended. Please exit out of the amphitheater, and there are some snacks and drinks outside. Thank you.